Let's try this again, and this time maybe it'll record what I'm saying, rather than being a completely silent video that makes no sense. Thanks for pointing that out, FE Peer Review. A couple of days ago, Bobby Shafto uploaded a new video from Puget Sound, asking, how tall is this buoy? My very simple answer to this, I spent quite a while trying to find the actual specifications on it, couldn't find them, did find what appears to be the same buoy washed ashore, with a woman standing on the chain. Guessed that she was 5'8", simply extrapolated that, came up with, I think my answer was 14'8", something like that as the height, the waterline to top height of the buoy in his video. This is one still from the video. This is near the end, as you can probably tell by that timeline across the bottom, where it's 38 seconds out of 40 seconds. After the boat had gone across the front, which is what's created the waves in the foreground, when a wave from the wake was breaking on the face of the buoy, on the point nearest us on the base. That little white dot is actually the white cap on the wake of the boat. Right. Very generously gave us camera height above water 13 feet and distance to the buoy 2.8 miles. Not only that, gave us the coordinates of the camera position and of the buoy in the video description, which made my job a whole lot easier because I don't have to go looking for it. I have to go looking for the button that gets me the next image on screen. This is the next image. It is now on screen. This is my perspective calculator, Earth polar radius, Earth you can see what it's got. In fact, there'll be a link in the description. You can go and download it, make a copy of it, play around with it, simulate whatever views you like with it. Click on a cell to see how the cell is calculated. That little box at the top where it says FX. Currently just says 49.42 because that's an actual entered value. That is a value I entered and then tweaked and tweaked and tweaked to get X coordinate view, down here, to be 0 or near enough 0. I'm using the first 5 decimal places as my pixel coordinates. So the first 6 decimal places being 0, good enough. Observer latitude and longitude are the coordinates of the camera as given in Bobby Shafto's video description. Observer altitude is observer's height above the water. He's at 13 feet. I put in 13 feet in meters. The spreadsheet has rounded that to 4. Target 1. There is only one target in this version of the spreadsheet. Latitude and longitude are what he gave. That 47.317556 and 122.469896 are where he said the buoy was. I hope. I did check because I sat there looking at it and went, have I got this right? But I could have, not noticed that I got it wrong. Target altitude, it currently says 0 because a buoy floating on the water is on the water. And down here in the bottom left, you can see vector Z distance, 3207.964 meters. Well, that's not 2.8 miles. That's 2 miles. That right there. It's 2 miles, and his page said 2.8. So I went and looked. Had to do this anyway, because plotting the camera position in the bottom left, then measuring distance to the stated buoy position in the top right, lets me take a screenshot of Google Maps and measure the angle on that to put that in as the camera azimuth, and then adjust from there to get the 0. I probably didn't need to do this for that, but doing this did let me get this view of this bit of water. Okay, it's a bit of water. That is supposedly where the buoy is, marking the end of a clear channel between southwestbound and northeastbound marine traffic. In the direction from the camera to that stated buoy position, this lower left arrow, this arrow, that's the stated buoy position. The measuring tape has disappeared for some reason, although the measured distance is still on the screen. Arrow points in roughly the direction it was going, and in roughly that direction, where this second arrow is pointing, there is a blob on the screen. That blob is at 2.8 miles, and it is at the position stated by the Coast Guard type people as the location of that buoy. So those are the coordinates I'm going to be using. Here's the spreadsheet, adjusted to show those coordinates as the target, and with a slightly different camera azimuth to once again get X coordinate view to be 0.000000. So the buoy is right in the middle of the field of view. This isn't essential, but it's nice. while we're looking at that field of view, I can plot the buoy, obviously. I can say this is where the base of the buoy will be, and this is 1 metre up the buoy, and this is 2 metres up the buoy. I can say, yeah, this is 10 metres above water level at the position of the buoy, with no scale, no way to scale the image to the plot. I've lost the plot. Have I lost the plot? No way to scale the still from Bobby Shafto's video to the plotted vertical scale for the buoy worked out this way. That doesn't help, right? I need to know what's in the background. So I extended this measuring tape. You can see it is extended right through that buoy, just shy of 4.5 kilometres. And it is extended to this little marina at Des Moines, or Des Moines, or Desimoines if you're Australian. I don't know how they pronounce it in Washington State. It looks like Des Moines to me. There is a marina there. In fact, under that blob, there is it under the blob? No, just south of the blob, I think, is a restaurant and what do you call it? A museum. Marina has a harbour wall in front of it, grey thing, which according to Google Earth is 4 metres tall. You can see on the left we have Point Robinson Lighthouse. Yes, Point Robinson Lighthouse there, and does it show on the previous one? No, it doesn't. Point Robinson Lighthouse on the left side, and just off the bottom of the screen here, Dash Point, and southwest of that, Browns Point. So this is roughly the same view as we had before with the ship coming over the curve, but he has moved farther west and is looking farther east. The airport that was in the right side of the view before is at the very top of the image on this one. So there's got to be something up by Des Moines. Des Moines. Des Moines. Oh, Des Moines. What you got? What you got I can look at that I can use to get a backdrop? And I found this. In Bobby's video, it looks like a multi-story car park, but I reckon this thing is it. This thing here is the Federal Aviation Administration building. And it's more than one bit. It's a funny shape. It's got bits missing from the corners and a bit sticking out at the back, which is why it looks like it has a set of ramps where it's a split level multi-story car park. To the left is a whole group of buildings with very long roofs, which is what looks like a giant greenhouse in Bobby's video. And that is what I'm going to use to get the scale. The school is way off in the background, but Google Earth decided to mark the school. Having identified the building, I can use Google Earth to get altitudes for it. Exactly 100 meters. It says 100 meters, so to the nearest meter, 100 meters. On the ground, adjacent to the building, all the way around it, and 123 meters all over the roof. So I've used those as the altitudes for the top and bottom of the building, but it also has this distinctive stripy pattern, and by pixel counting and knowing the total height, I can scale that to get all the elevations you see in purple on the right. Those are what I'm going to use to plot the expected view. Here is the expected view with no curvature. In the foreground, there is 1 kilometre. The right-hand points, right-hand ends of all these blue lines are the actual points on the surface on a measuring tape going from the stated camera location to the left corner of that building, rather than being straight up the middle to the buoy, or toward the restaurant, or towards the right side of the building, or two measuring tapes, both going way off into the distance, parallel to each other, with points along both of them as the ends, as the left and right ends of a lot of blue lines. We just have single points at the right, and I've extended them across to the left to turn them into blue lines for the water surface. And as you can see, I hope, 1 kilometre is at the bottom of the, just above the bottom of this plotted view, not necessarily Bobby's video. And the lines get closer and closer together until somewhere up here, just before the breakwater at the harbour, the lines are all on the same pixel of this plot. Then you've got this grey harbour wall, above it the restaurant roof, and way up here, and slightly off to the right, is the FAA building. Here endeth part 1. In part 2 we shall see whether this plot matches reality.